Guys, now I'll guide you how do you create a VPC network peering in between the two different private VPC network. First of all guys, click on navigation menu, then click on VPC network. Guys, first of all, you can create two VPC network. Click on create VPC network here. Already you know guys all the steps. First VPC, for an example VPC private one, then you can select your custom or automatic based on your requirement guys. Then add the subnet name, subnet 1, the name of the subnet as I added here as subnet 1, and I selected as region as you can see here Asia South 1. Then I added the IP range 10.0.1.0. I added the CIDR range as 24, 10.0.1.0.24. Then rest of the field guys you leave as it is. I selected as regional here. If you want to select the global, then you can select here. Wait a couple of seconds guys to create your VPC private one first. As you can see here, VPC private one successfully created here. Similarly guys, we'll create another VPC, VPC private 2. Then the name of the subnet as subnet 2, and I select the region US Central 1. As you can see here, this I selected the different region here. This is the US. Then the IP range added here 10.0.2.0/24. Then rest of the field you can leave as it is. I selected as regional here as you can see here. Then click on create and wait a couple of seconds to create your second VPC. As you can see here, the second VPC private 2 also successfully created here now. Then you navigate to the compute engine and create a different virtual machine. The name of the first virtual machine is server 1. Guys, I selected here region as Asia South 1 Mumbai here, and any zone I selected here default. Then you leave all the remaining field as it is and click on advanced option guys. Then select the networking here. First you can select the VPC private one here and select your subnet here. As you can see here, I selected as subnet 1. Then rest of the field guys you leave as it is, then click on create. Similarly guys, I'll create the another server 2 here, and I'll select here US Central 1 because my second VPC I created as US Central 1. Then remaining field leave as it is, then click on networking section and select your desired VPC here, VPC private 2, and select the subnet 2 here. Click on done, then click on create here. As you can see here, the server 1 is already successfully created here now, and server 2 also create within the couple of seconds. As you can see here, both the server is successfully created here now. Now I'll navigate to the VPC network again and click on VPC network peering here, as you can see here guys. Then click on create a VPC network peering connection here. Click on create connection here. Then click on continue. The name of the first is server 1 to server 2. First I test the connection in between server 1 to server 2. Then I selected here as VPC private 1. Then network name is VPC private 2, as you can see here guys. Guys, I selected here as peered VPC network in the project. If you have your private VPC network in another project, then you can select here, then you can add the project ID and select your VPC network name. But I do not have any different project here, so that I selected as default in same project I created, as you can see here, my first project, I created both the VPC private 1 and VPC private 2 here. So, I selected as default here. Then rest of the remaining field guys, you leave as it is. Then click on create. As you can see here, the first server 1 to server 2 peering is successfully created here now. But as you can see here, the status is showing still now is inactive, because we never create to server 2 to server 1 network peering connection. So that we create again here for server 2 to server 1 connection, then select here server 2, then select here server 1, then rest of the field guys you leave as it is. This is a simple step guys. You can easily create your VPC network peering in between different private network. As you can see here guys, now the status is showing as active. Then guys, you click on firewall section. This is important guys. We will create a firewall rule for our VM, because we'll give permission access to the SSS mode. So that click on create firewall rule here, then add any name, SSS access allow, the name of the firewall rule as I mentioned here. Then you leave as it is all the remaining field guys, and you select here as your service account. Then you assign the IP ranges as 0.0, allow all the IP ranges you can access here, and select allow all here. Already I explained more details about the how to create the firewall rule. If you miss it that session, please watch my create a firewall rule session, then click on create here. But before guys, here you can select the private VPC network, anyone here, then click create here. Then similarly guys, you can create another rule for VPC private 2, VPC 2 SSS. For your understanding, I give the name access. Then similarly guys, you leave as it is. You select the target is your service account here. Then add 0.0.0.0 and allow all. Unless guys, if you want to connect your VM via SSS, never connect it, because that is the permissions required for SSS for your server 1 and server 2. Now if you want select any server guys, first you connect to the server 1 via SSH, click on SSH and wait a couple of seconds to connect the new server 1. Wait a couple of seconds to connect your new server. Server 1 successfully connected here now guys. Now guys, you can copy the external IP from server 2, then ping from server 1. As you can see here guys, server 1 successfully access to the server 2. Similarly guys, you can connect server 2 now. As you can see here, the server 2 also successfully connected here now. Then you can copy the external IP from server 1. Then verify from server 2. Guys, as you can see here, the server 2 successfully connected with the server 1. As you can see here, both server 1 and server 2 successfully connected with each other. That is called the VPC network peering guys. We have different private VPC network, then how we can communicate with each other. Then this is the simple way you can connect with the VPC network peering with different network in your project. I hope so. Now you can understand. Thank you. If you are into tech and want to stay ahead of the game, then you have got to subscribe and like to the Sairaj Tech Cloud YouTube channel. Don't miss out on the latest tech trends and tips. Hit that subscribe button now and join the tech community at Sairaj Tech Cloud.